How to turn 6,000 bucks into 75 grand through tax deed investing in 5 simple steps that you can execute on here today and start finding some of these deals within the next 24 to 72 hours. If you're willing to maybe roll up your sleeves and do a little bit of elbow grease, we're going to walk you step by step how to do this. We're going to start. I'm going to show you a deal here that I bought on my screen here right now. This is one that I bought for 6,100 bucks. It was worth 75 grand. Immediately in the first month, I started renting it for $1,035 per month. So we've found a whole bunch of these properties here today that are coming up and also ones that have passed, because I know if you're watching this, you're thinking maybe this stuff is too good to be true. You know, what the heck is this? If it works so good, why does this guy have a YouTube channel on this stuff? He'd just be out there doing it all the time himself. Sounds fishy, and you should definitely think that. But what I'd like to try to prove to you during this live stream today is that these deals do exist. We actually even found a bulldozed Coca-Cola plant that could be picked up a couple $100,000 below market value that we're going to show you here. We're going to show you the results of an auction that just ended today with some of these properties up to 80, 90% below market value. Now, obviously, we have to give the disclaimer, right? This is investing. There is risk involved. At the end of the day, is every deal going to be something that you can take 6 grand and turn into 75? No, you will have to put in some elbow grease. You might find some of these properties that go for market value. In fact, some folks watching might go to one auction or look at one list and say everything sells for market value. This guy's full of crap, or there was hundreds of people there. But what I can tell you is there are thousands of these properties going up every single year, and people are buying them. The first thing you have to do is show up. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, it's Dustin Hahn here. This channel is here to help you make some money with tax lien and tax deed investing and over-the-counter properties. We've been doing this a long time. We're the #1 channel on YouTube right now. We got like 3,000 videos, I think over 100K subscribers, and we give away a free mini course for everybody who tunes in below the video, totally free to help you get into this game. So at the end of the day, our goal is to provide the tax lien and deed investing community with the best free information that is totally out there. And if you ever want to work with us more, you can have an option to do that as well. So we're going to look into some of these. And I'm going to bring in the auction master himself right now. Mr. Josh, how you doing here today? Oh, got to add your screen. There we go.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello. Happy day to all.
Good stuff. So the stream's starting to fill up. Let us know where you're tuning in from, your name, your city, state, any questions that you have. And we're going to go through, show you some of the deals here. One of the ones that we got, some of the ones that just went up. And then we're going to cap this off at the end with the 5 simple steps that you guys can take to do this and find some of these deals. We got Ralph from Germany coming in. Appreciate the comments, everybody. And we got the Texas Grinch here. It'd be like the
Nice.
Grinch in a cowboy hat. That would be pretty fun. So a little bit of a story on this. Josh was on the road like a storm chaser, going to auctions all over the place. And we ended up going to Arkansas, and he was on the road. And, you know, when we talk about kind of the ups and downs of this business, he had went to a string of auctions where he didn't get anything. And then in Arkansas, ended up picking up some very, very cool deals. And this ended up being one of them. So Josh, can you relive the tale for everybody here? And we can show them how we did it.
Yeah, so this was Phillips County in Arkansas. And so the main city there is Helena, Arkansas. And so Helena, Arkansas has got a pretty low population. It's it's like I'm just looking for it right now. Let's see, largest city seat here. Yeah, so it's like 12,000 people. And if you look at downtown Helena, it's actually a ghost town, which is pretty wild. It's not that common, you know, that we end up at a tax sale in a ghost town. So we had to be really careful with what we were going to buy, because the exit strategy was going to be pretty limited, because it's not like it was a hustling, bustling downtown. And there wasn't exactly a whole lot going on. So we found this property, limousine business. So there was a whole bunch of like limos in the yard there, and then funeral home, and then also a church. So 3 different things. And so the thing is, if the exit strategy is to sell to the owner, that's not a great idea because the owner would probably, if they had money, they would have stopped the tax sale. So we quickly verified that the owner was not the individual occupying the property. It was somebody else. So the exit strategy was, let's pick this thing up cheap, and we can like cash flow it right away, which is exactly what happened, and then ended up doing seller financing. But what a bizarre place, because something we haven't mentioned before is initially at the beginning we were looking for some help, right? Because Helena, Arkansas is not our backyard, and there's a guy named like Messina, Messina Real Estate, had a liquor store there too, and he had this like huge desk upstairs. So his office was like upstairs above the liquor store, and he was helping us out, but he was definitely taking some of the profits there at the beginning. And so eventually, we were just able to facilitate it ourselves, which was great. But back then, we won a lot more than just this property. But there was a 7-day redemption period in Arkansas at the time. They don't have that anymore. And so we went into the courthouse where the auction was, and there was just a handful of people there. I'm talking like less than 10, which is a really good sign. And so we were just like picking up property left and right, walked away with like maybe 8 houses. But again, back then, the redemption period was 7 days, and they didn't have to pay what you paid. They just simply had to pay the back taxes. So now, yeah, the rules have changed and they don't have that, which is cool. But a smaller county, very little competition, picking up property for less than 10 cents on the dollar. And so within a month, we had recuperated a sixth of the investment, which was awesome. And so those deals happen, but finding an auction where there's a handful of people, 10 people in a room, is going to take going a little bit further out at times. And so that's where we were just really careful about the exit strategy, and it made sense. And yeah, it was a great tale of what you could do at tax sales.
Nice. So for the folks who are just joining us, we're talking about here turning 6K into 75 grand. We just showed an example of a property that we did it with. And in a few minutes, we're going to go through 5 super simple steps that everybody can take to do this stuff for themselves. So as we get going, put any questions that you have in the side on the stream here. We would love to hear from you where you're tuning in from, because we also tailor the stream as we go to try to provide you guys with tons of value here as well. And then what was I going to say? Oh, my brain ran away on me. But as we're going, yeah, type any questions that you have. And remember, there's 2 types of auctions. There's in-person and online. So these were in-person auctions in smaller counties. Now, the cool thing is there are a lot of these auctions that are online that you don't have to leave, and you can go and do it. So I'm just going to show my screen here really quickly to get everybody on the same track. So if you're wondering where the tax deed states are, check it out. Take a screenshot here of what I'm about to show. So I'm going to show my screen, and then from here, we'll come over here. So take a quick screenshot of this on your phone. And this is the interactive map we have for everybody who wants to get started. It's totally free on our site, Tax Lien School. Literally just go to taxlienschool.com and click on the Knowledge Vault, and you will end up here. It is the most valuable free resource to tax lien and deed investors, online, unmatched. We have a little army that powers this thing, and we're super proud. They work really hard to provide this resource to our community. So take a screenshot of this, and anything in red is going to be a tax deed opportunity for you guys to find some of these. And if you want, you can literally just click on them, and it'll tell you about the state, the deed, all the rules, all that sort of stuff, which is good. And then below here is an auction calendar. So this is a free resource for everybody. So the first thing you want to do is decide, okay, do I live in a tax deed state? Secondly, if not, how far away is the next tax deed state? And also, you can use the directory to call them up and ask when the auction is as well. Now, speaking of auction, there was an auction that just happened here today with some of these deals that that actually happened. And if you're just tuning in, welcome everybody. put any questions or comments you have there in the chat. And if you're liking this stuff, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. So we just had an auction today, and it's interesting because there was a situation where a lot of people are skeptical of this business, and they should be, right? Because it's like, well, wait a minute, if this is so good, then why isn't everybody doing it? If it's so good, why are you guys teaching it on YouTube instead of just going and doing it, right? So a couple things, let's break that down quickly. So one of the reasons why you don't get a lot of information on this business is because there's 3,300 counties. Every county does things a little bit differently. And from there, the government doesn't let like corporations come in as the middleman, like lending companies, insurance companies, mortgage brokers, realtors. The county is basically direct consumer. So there's no billion-dollar industry around making this easily accessible. And every county has their own rules, and you have to learn the rules. So that's what we're here to do, is show you in these videos how to learn the rules. This is below in the description to help you learn the rules and navigate for free the ABCs. And then from here, as you're going, you'll probably be skeptical. However, oh, Josh has it there. You know, these auctions are happening all the time. So we're going to show you some deals that literally just went today for opening bid. And then I'll answer the two questions of, if it works so good, why are we teaching it? And why isn't everybody doing it? So Josh, over to you, and then we'll wrap this with 5 steps.
Okay, nice. So this is bid for assets.
Josh,
And
real quick,
yeah.
I'm going to put the banner on here.
Oh, nice.
All properties shown are from county public record. So for the YouTube algorithm here, and for anybody watching, we are not revealing any private information that is not 100% public record that anybody can go and find. So we have to make that disclaimer, because sometimes the YouTube algorithm thinks that we're showing people's deepest secrets, but this is all public information anybody can go to.
Nice. All right. So just a quick little summary of Philadelphia. So Bid for Assets is an online platform, and they host Philadelphia County. And so Philadelphia County's got a ton of properties every single month that go to auction. And we really have just showcased and focused the auctions that happen on Wednesday. And the reason we do that is because the opening bid is $1,600, which is unreal. So there's some places where the back taxes are the opening bid, but in this case, even if somebody owes $100,000 in taxes, which we've actually seen before, whether the property is $500,000 or 20 grand, $850,000, the opening bid is $1,600. So these ones on Wednesday, they can get a bit competitive at times. They draw a lot of interest just because of the fact that it's $1,600. But you'll notice that the calendar, there's also an auction here on the 27th, which is today, which is awesome. And there's one on the 30th. And so there's a lot of people who just focus and hone in on the third Wednesday of the month because it's a $1,600 opening bid. But the process is the exact same for this Tuesday auction and Friday. So these are all tax sales. You sometimes got to be really careful because you may be looking at a separate auction on a tax sale website, and it's not actually a tax sale property. It might be a mortgage foreclosure, but these are all tax sale properties just done by different attorneys. So the Wednesday, this is done by Philadelphia themselves. This is done by the county. These ones on Tuesday are done by a company called GRB or Line Barger. So it's really just either Line Barger or GRB for the other auctions, but the same process. But the opening bid is actually the back taxes that are owed. And so these properties sold just maybe an hour ago. So this is extremely fresh. And what you can do is you can come in and you can see, how much competition was here, how many people were bidding. And so if I click on this property, 5617 Nelson Street, you can see number of bidders, 1. That means they got it for the opening bid. The minimum bid was 4,200. Nobody else bid against them. As far as competition goes, no competition, 0 competition at all. And this is an online auction in the year 2026. And so a lot of people will have an experience and then they will believe that experience. They'll say, I went to an auction It was too competitive. The space is too saturated. Tax Lien School, you're wrong. And it's like, well, hold on. You arrived at that conclusion very quickly. And on top of that, people are getting deals. And it's not like we're not talking about deals from the 90s. We're not talking about deals from 2000s, Well, I think we're still technically in the 2000, but we're talking about deals that are happening right now. Even with AI, with technology, with things being online, there are still opportunities. So this is just an example of no competition happening at an online auction that everybody can participate in. And it's not an outlier because North Oriana Street. Now, are these deals? I'm not sure. I didn't do due diligence on them, but I can show you that this sold for opening bid as well. So the opening bid was $7,000. Winning bid is $7,000. Number of bids, 1. So that's 2 properties today that sold for opening bid. And there was a third that got a little bit more competitive. Let me show you Warnock. This one sold for 16 grand, 2 bids. So, and I think, I'm not sure because the minimum bid is 16,000 and it went for 16,000. So I think maybe there's something wrong. And it looks like it was really just 1 bid. So also sold for opening bid. And so what you want to do is you want to do a little bit of due diligence and you want to see, okay, were these deals, did they overpay? Did they underpay? Did they just make, 100% ROI on their money? And even the ones that sell, for a higher price. So we got $262,000 here. Looks like 87 bids. So really attractive. This was probably a pretty sweet looking property. And a lot of times they get investors will get shiny object syndrome on these big, beautiful properties. And it's generally the ones that need rehab, that require a little bit more work or just a little bit more of a detailed eye where you can spot deals. Those ones often end up selling for the best price. So this is 802 South 8th. So like 412K sold for 262. So maybe 50 cents on the dollar. Maybe property sells for a lot more in the area. But if the competitive price is 50 cents on the dollar, I mean, you can't do that anywhere else. So, I see, 410, 630, 360, 500. So it still is a good deal. And you want to be positioning yourselves in places like that, like where we got the funeral home, which is unreal. And so we just want to showcase some of these today. And you can come to Bid for Assets. You can check it out. You can do a little bit of due diligence, see if there were good deals. A lot of stuff sold for under $10,000. So 4,200, 7, 6,100, 10,100, 10,100, 4,600, 10,100. A lot of 10,100. Yeah, 5 bids. So really, really low competition. And the reason we bring this up is because there are some people who saw last week, and their experience was, it was pretty competitive. A lot of stuff was getting bid up, but it's not always like that. And sometimes these things have no rhyme or reason. And when we were going to like 6 or 7 auctions, not getting anything, yes, it definitely felt discouraging. But it wasn't that long after that scored some incredible deals, and then after that, more deals, and then more deals, and so the perseverance paid off for sure. And in this space, that's what happened. That's what happens time and time again. I talked to someone else today. They've been in the space for 6 months, and they just got a crazy deal in New York, which is awesome. So 6 months, they stuck with it. 100K house for 16 grand, and it looks like they put money into the property, like new windows, new roof. So it's a really cool space. Anything is possible. And here's some great results from today.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, this is literally fresh off the shelf as far as deals that just happened today. So one of the biggest things we're here to fight, as well as the skepticism of the business. We've been doing it for so long now. We kind of see repeatedly a lot of people aren't willing to do some of the boring work as far as going to these auctions. that's what this stuff takes sometimes. And that's why we kind of created a set of rules as far as, all right, if you really want to change your life with this business, it is definitely possible to make money. However, as I kind of did some reflecting this year, it's like, okay, on our channel, we give away everything you guys need to get started. This book is listed below. We have the most videos online. And when it comes to making money, you can learn everything you want for free on the internet. If you want to learn stocks, crypto, if you want to learn physics, quantum physics, biology, math, it's all there online, how to be in great shape. But most people now are more broke, miserable, unhealthy than ever with everything at their fingertips. And this kind of perplexed me because we give away a lot of information. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, we've drifted away from good old fashioned putting in a little bit of work. And with what we show you guys how to do, one of the common remarks is like, oh, well, I went to a sale and my property got bid up. It's like, if you put in a couple hours a day, a few days a week, you can have the grit to make this work. Now, for some of you guys, you might get a deal today by the end of the day. Some might take a little bit longer. For myself, I got a deal 2 days after I learned about this business and I was hooked and I've never looked back. So remember that you're on your own timeline when it comes to making money in this business. But the biggest thing is you have to take action. Coming back to the other questions, and welcome everybody who's just tuning in. We're going to answer any questions you have. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And then also let us know in the comments if you've done any deals, what type of deals you've gotten, to show the other folks, what's out there as well. So, one of the big questions that always comes up, it's like, if this is so great, why isn't everybody doing it? And it's like I mentioned before, you have to learn the rules of each county. And you have to have a little bit of persistence. You have to do some of the boring work. You have to be willing to go to one of these sales and not get a property. The equivalent of what happens is like a single man in a bar, in a nightclub, and wants to go ask a girl out, walks up to a girl standing by herself, and she says, sorry, I'm married. And then he goes and leaves and says, I've been single my whole life because everyone's married. That's not an accurate representation. So if you go to one sale, you put in a couple hours of research and you don't get something, that's okay. You now have a greater skill set to go into the next one. So that's how to look at it. And then the next question that comes up is like, well, wait a minute. If this stuff works so good, why are these guys teaching this on YouTube? Why aren't they just out doing it full time? So I'm going to give you an answer that I don't see a lot of people on YouTube giving. We put up a couple videos 10 years ago and they went viral. And it turned into a business for us. And it's a good business. So the same way that you like to make money, so do we. And what we do is we try to provide the most value to the tax liens community. We give away our books. We have 3,000 videos here. If you never want to work with us, you don't have to. Everything is for free online. And then for people that maybe want to come join us at a tax deed auction, or maybe you want some one-on-one help from a coach or a mentor, we offer that as well because it's a good business for us. And it also brings us in more deals. It expands our network and it really is a win-win. So I'm just being transparent about that to you guys. So let's answer some questions and we'll wrap up with the 5 steps. So somebody was asking if this works in Puerto Rico. And the short answer is no, they don't do traditional tax auctions there. It's a different system governed by the municipalities. So we haven't done anything in Puerto Rico, and I don't think we really know anybody. I think they go back to the bank there, but they don't use this system. Josh, have you worked with anybody in Puerto Rico?
No,
Yeah.
that would be wonderful, though. I mean, to be buying real estate in a place that's beautiful, that would be fantastic. So Hawaii, though, Hawaii does tax sales. They got a lot going on.
Hawaii could be good. Let's see. Somebody was saying here, and guys, if you like this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. And remember, this is always below in the description, full mini course to get you going. So somebody was saying, I was looking at Galveston auction. One property says it's owned by the city of Galveston. So why is that? So that can often be what we call an over-the-counter. So if a property goes to auction, doesn't sell, then goes into the county inventory, and then that is known often as an over-the-counter property. Let's see, somebody getting your LLC started. Excellent. Good stuff. Arizona, tax lien state. So in Arizona, tax lien sales, if the owner paid the taxes the day after the auction ends, do I still get 16% interest? No, because in Arizona, it accrues every single month. So whatever interest rate, say you get it at the full 16%, basically if they redeem you the next day, you're going to get, 1.1% or whatever that math works out to. Very, very little interest rate on that one. Let's see here. What do we have? We got Miami here. Beautiful day, 68, sun out. Whew. Send some of
nice.
that to the rest of the US. Somebody's saying they have 10K to invest. What states? So yeah, focusing obviously on deed states. Focus on the deed state that is as close as possible to you. If it's your own backyard, that's great. Or if it's remote, go somewhere maybe you've been before, maybe you have family or friends, and that's a good place to start. You're not tied to a location with this stuff. Somebody's in Florida. Florida's great. There's lots of sales in Florida every single month. Let's see. Do you need a license to go to these auctions? You do not need a license to go to any tax lien or deed auctions. You can let her rip. Is the auction the every third is the auction on every third Wednesday the $1,600 one, Josh?
Yeah, always.
Great. Let's see. Question here, kind of a random question. How good is Tax Title Services Company for filing quiet title insurance? Yeah, they're great. We have an interview with them on our channel. We've used them many times. So for folks here, if you buy a property and sometimes the title might not be clear, Tax Title Services specializes in tax lien and deed property clearing title. So yeah, you can work with them. We don't get any kickbacks from them. They are a service that we use and a service that we recommend. Josh has excellent taste in headphones. I have no idea. How do you call it, Josh? The
These Maxwell. Yeah, these are like the best gaming headset you can get. That's why.
Nice. You pay a lot of capital gains after flipping a lot strategies here. So first off, we're not, obviously the disclaimer, we're not accountants, doctors, lawyers, or astronauts as much as we wish we were. So one of the things that we do for ourselves is if we have a business, so you obviously want to keep as many expenses as possible in the business and then pay yourself personally, whatever works. So that's where the 1031 exchange can come in, where you have, I think it's, remember, Josh, 180 days or 90 days to put that money into another property.
Yeah, something like that, more or less. Yeah, so really great for people who they like want to do one at a time or something like that. But yeah, for us, we don't want to do one at a time, and we don't want to live in them and things like that. So yeah, capital gains is just part of the business.
So forming your first LLC, few ways. Many folks have used LegalZoom. We've used it before as well. Or you could go to a local real estate meetup and do some networking there to find somebody effective in the area that you want to do it. Let's see. Somebody's saying here, thank you. Getting quiet title together after redemption period in Georgia. Have we tax title serviced in Georgia, Josh?
No, it's probably because it's a little bit different. Where at the end of it, you do the foreclosure process, and so it's more like a tax lien kind of deal. But yeah, tax title services can still help, and that'll be the cheapest and quickest and best option. And so the funeral home, we weren't actually able to use tax title services just because they didn't have a presence there, and so we had no, that's not the case. Sorry, we couldn't use it because of what was going on with the title. So it was so like convoluted and complicated that they weren't able to give it the stamp, you could say. But most of the time, they can do it, and then you can avoid the quiet title action process. You don't have to go through court, which is great. So really quick. We've used them many times in Arkansas as well, and they've been able to get everything done within 30 days, which is really cool.
Nice. Somebody's saying here, after winning the deed, do you have access to the house right away? In most cases, yes, except probably Georgia with the 1-year redemption. Be about that. Let's see. Good question here. How can a foreign begin this business? So one of the cool things is you can buy a lot of these online. Part of the bottleneck, if you're wanting to do this from a different country, could be the registration requirements. If you don't want to go in person, if you want to go in person, it's super easy. You literally just whatever identification you have is good to go. Get the property in your name, and then when you close it, they can send it to any bank account you want. Is pretty straightforward. From here, though, depending on what they're looking for when you register, there could be bottlenecks there. Sometimes they might want a social security number or an ITIN. So an easy thing to do could be open an LLC, get an ITIN and an EIN, which is your business identification number, and that should get you going for the most part. So good questions, guys. If you're liking it, thumbs up. Remember, for anybody tuning in, we have the directory below that has all the phone numbers. You just crack it open, give them a call, see what they have. These are below for everybody for free. If you ever do want some one-on-one help, you can schedule a call and we can see if it's a fit to work with you one-on-one or come to an auction with us, as that is something that we offer. So let's talk about quick the 5 steps that everybody can do today, right after this live stream, to go and find these. So first off, obviously, figure out your budget. Somebody earlier was saying they have 10 grand. So look at deed states that are having auctions regularly, like Florida, Michigan, Arkansas, Georgia, Texas. They have auctions almost every single month. Well, Michigan's are coming up, but those other states are. The other example is you can find properties that didn't sell over the counter at tax deeds. Just ask what happened to the properties that didn't sell. How do I get that list? So that's the first thing to figure out when you're doing this. And remember to get the the map here. I'm going to remove Josh's.
Oh, there we go.
I got it. So everybody go to taxlienschool.com, click on the Knowledge Vault, and this is the first step. Bookmark the site. It's a free resource that is so valuable. It is unmatched when it comes to providing service for free to help everybody get started. So you can click on here, investigate different states to get you going, and whatever state you're interested in, simply click on it. So for example, if we click on Arkansas, premium bid, 30-day to 90-day redemption period. And then when you guys click on this, you will get information on all of the counties, links to the assessors, all of the counties here on the left-hand side that we have broken down, the number of counties, a video. So we have this for almost all of the states. So this is kind of our gift to the Tax Lien Deed community. Go to Tax Lien School, Knowledge Vault, and this site is hard to duplicate because most people sell tools like this because it is very expensive to create. So we give that away to everybody. So coming back here, figure out which one you want to go to. From there, you want to do some property research. Step number 1, use Google Maps, the street view, see what's going on there. What type of access? If it's a lot, does it have utilities? Is it landlocked? Is it junk? You want to eliminate it that way. Step 3, register for the auction, go and bid. Set your budgets. And from there, you just need one good property, and be okay if a property gets redeemed. Don't travel. If you're going to travel physically, don't travel too far. If you're going to get on an airplane, make sure there's at least 50 to 80 properties that are going to be on your list to look at, because remember, most of them will redeem. That's what's nice about online auctions. From there, once you win the bid, if there's a redemption period, obviously wait, file the deed with the clerk or the recorder. It's now yours. You're ready to go. Mortgage-free property from the tax deed sale. And now it's time to flip it, to find some cash buyers. You can talk to other people who have bought cash at the auction as well. You can get those lists. You can talk to land flippers, investors in the area, and then list the property for sale. So for example, if you got it for 6 and it's worth 50, sell it fast for 25. You want to leave room on the table for somebody else to make money. Don't be greedy and try to make it all. It's way better to flip the properties quickly than to try to squeeze every ounce out of it. That's one of the big mistakes people make, is they get greedy and they go They want to do a rehab to get top dollar. And, you know, one of the problems when you do that, unless you live in the town and you are really good yourself at doing rehabs, generally what happens is the person hires somebody to fix it. They don't do the best job. It takes longer, goes over budget. And then when they list it for sale, maybe they get an offer, they bring an inspector through and then find all the problems. And we know this because we've made that mistake many times, many painful times. You know, you got a property that's going to be closing this week, you know, 20, 50, 70 grand coming in, gets inspected, and then all your hopes and dreams crumble before your eyes. So it's way better to flip them quick. Let's see. From your experience, are over-the-counter lists worth the time? Do you see consistent deals coming from OTCs? Are they mostly noise compared to auctions? No. So remember, one of the sayings is like, well, there's a reason they didn't sell at the auction. Many times, yes, there's junk in those lists. However, many times there's not properties that have been overlooked. Josh, maybe a couple examples of some that you noticed recently that didn't have bids or were OTCs.
Yeah, here, let me show you an OTC that is available right now. I'm just looking. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to pull this up. This is in Mississippi, and it's just so wild. Okay. So here it is on bid for assets. It's just wild. So someone was trying to get $80,000 for this in 2023. And in the write-up here, you can see, oh yeah, here's like a whole bunch of photos of it. So they're trying to get 80 grand. I don't know how much it's worth, but this is what it looks like on the inside. And I mean, this looks great. This looks like a bar or something similar, but it said taxes must be paid by March 15th to ensure property is not lost to another tax sale investor. And so this property didn't sell. Nobody bought it. It looks like people did view it, but this is a property that's available over the counter. Here is the list. Remember, 934 North Theobald. Oh, let me do this. 934, and here it is on an over-the-counter list. So market value of $141,210. That's an OTC. Here's a Coke plant. This is wild. This one. This is actually, yeah, an abandoned Coca-Cola factory.
You say Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I should have said that. Yeah, Coca-Cola. So it was demolished, but I don't know what's there anymore. I mean, this was what it once looked like on LoopNet.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful. So demolished. I mean, we could. Oh wow. So not even on maps. It's not showing up there. Let me see if we can get a street view. Actually, bizarre. Perhaps there's no address there anymore, and we have to look it up by the parcel number. But yeah, there's like a whole YouTube video on it 2 years ago. It's abandoned, really cool. So maybe before, I think you could have got it before it was demolished too, because this was, yeah, this was May 2025. So it's been over the counter for a few years, I think. So it's not all noise, but it can certainly feel like that depending on where you look. And so if you go to some counties, they might have thousands of over the counters. And if you were to manually go through that, that would probably cause something abnormal to happen in the brain. And so that's why we use like AI to really help us fast track a lot of that stuff so that we're not, going through thousands of over the counter tax liens. But yeah, you just have to know where to look and focus on the right places. But yeah, I mean, there's an example right here. Yeah, this one. This looks like a functional business, and that's over the counter.
Excellent example there. So let's see here. Somebody's saying, if the lot was unusable, what do you do with most things people don't purchase? Well, some things will just be unusable, period. They can be in the middle of nowhere, no utilities. But if it's in a city or a town and it's maybe a corner lot or on the side of the highway, maybe you could put a billboard on it and rent billboard space. You always have to think with an open mind as far as how can I make money on this property, parking lot, stuff like that. Many different ideas as far as how to make money. When it comes to this Coca-Cola plant, um, one of the things would have to be like an environmental inspection to see, maybe there's a bunch of toxins in the ground from, whatever goes into Coca-Cola.
Oh man, yeah. If it's Coca-Cola, it can't be good.
Yeah, exactly. So, but good stuff, everybody. If you like this stuff, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. It's time to get started. We went through these 5 steps: identify a county, give them a call, do your research, go bid or do your research, send somebody to go look at it or go look at it yourself. Once you get it, you can flip it. And this is a way to turn $6,000 into $75,000 with the right deal. Taking action. Just know that everybody's on their own timeline. Maybe you get a deal at your first auction. Maybe you get a deal at your 10th auction. The thing is persistence, like Josh is saying, wins this game. Why does the market often discount properties that, oh, there we go. Why does market often discount properties that came from tax deed sales, even after quiet title action and a clean, well, remember, a lot of these they need fix up, right? So they need some work. So that's why they're often discounted. So most of the time, and that's what you want to see too, because that it's that property that's less than beautiful, that the gap in there is the profit margin for everybody. So good stuff, folks. Let's see. Yeah, below the video, grab the mini course. If you want some one-on-one help, schedule a call. We can help you build a custom AI for this. You can come join us at an auction, and time to get in the game. We'll be back here on Thursday. And somebody's saying an airsoft arena. That would be super cool, actually, or paintball or something like that, or laser tag, go-karts. That's thinking. Good stuff. We like it.
Nice.
So we'll sign off. We'll see everybody Thursday. Report back to us on what you made out. Go to Tax Lien School, check out the map, take some action, and we'll see you guys here on Thursday. See you guys.